Come on, this is like
I
the
can
easiest
do
recap
I
that
can do the
has ever been
recap.
done
If you
by
want.
anyone.
All right, last time on Tears of Tiamat, we crawled out of our cavern system and went to hunt for a caravan of goods, which we found along the southern road up to Karmaga. It was the last caravan for the season. We attacked it, meeting up with our old friends from before, the adventuring party. This time, though, it didn't really end in such a humorous note as it did last time, as we pretty much killed all of them horribly.
Yeah.
And we
Not
took
only pretty
the
much, you did.
merchant's stuff, and that's it, because then like horrible technical difficulties happened and the session ended, so it was a very short session.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's exactly everything that happened. And now you find yourself here in the land of brown fog, as you do distinctly remember settling down for the night in the safety of your small but slowly growing lair. But now you're apparently here.
Ah,
Oh.
There is no
Oh.
sky, only blurry blotches of color all around
Oh.
you. No
oh
air
god.
stirs and no sound, apart from the sounds of yourselves.
Yeah, scrolling out, that looks trippy.
Tilraxos,
I highly recommend, just out of character, zooming out and in and scrolling
yeah, I'm
around a
doing
bit.
that right now.
Oh.
Tilraxos tries to remember if he ate any mushrooms, yesterday.
I'm kind of
Last,
confused. He usually finds himself at a banquet at this point.
yeah, the last thing we ate, if I remember, was Dream Feast.
Tilraxos looks around. Am I? Are you here, or are you just a figment of my imagination?
Wax you with a wing. Does that feel real?
It certainly does feel very real.
Tilraxos frowns. He pinches Arvolnix.
Well, at least I'm not alone in this dream. Good to have others with me, especially you. I would have thought I would be bigger in here, though.
Yes, it would tell me that this is not how I usually dream, and I would guess that this is not an ideal representation of, any of us. He looks around. Do we see anything except the swirly colors?
Looking around, trying to focus on anything that is not in your immediate surrounding almost gives you a rather significant headache. There is just nothing apart from the grass that, upon further inspection, is, well, perfect, really. Every blade of grass, the exact same length, the exact same width. It feels like grass, but it's not grass that could exist. The platform, you would guess that's what it is, around the grass fields looks like glass.
All right.
But every now and then it seems to just disappear. And focusing on it for too long gives you the same effect as looking at anything else, really.
Do we have our equipment with us if Tyraxus checks?
Yes, you do.
Mm. Alright, he will look around again, frown, and say, this is somewhat unsettling. But if this is not something any of you have dreamed up, I suppose we are here as a invitation, perhaps? He looks around.
I'm still not entirely sure that this is not just one of my dreams. I usually don't dream this sort of thing, though. Goes to the edge and, taps the area outside of the platform.
It feels solid.
Huh. Huh. Well... goes over here. Sits down. I suppose we just have to wait until something happens so we wake up. Then I can ask you all if you had the same crazy dream. I hope you don't.
Tyraxus looks around. Sitting around seems a bit too passive, does it not? There seems to be a path over there. He points north.
Not sure. It doesn't seem quite safe.
He smirks. Safe? Ha! The unsafe part is whoever has conjured this illusion for us. We should find them and teach them what it means to trap dragons.
Can you fly in here? Sam says, my wings. If anyone could, I would like to be carried over instead of, well, walking on that thing.
Draxos stretches his wings, tries to fly.
There's absolutely no air resistance or anything that would allow you to fly.
My flight is supernatural though, because dragons use the ethereal magical winds or whatever to fly usually.
It does not work here.
Okay. He
There are
shakes
no
his head.
magical currents. Wow.
Does my mic work now?
Yes, it does, Tina.
Is it bad?
It's okay.
Okay.
Well, so that's a no.
We will have to walk then.
Fortunate.
Puts down a paw or a foot or whatever dragons have.
The surface, even though it seems to be shifting and shimmering, feels absolutely solid. More solid than really anything you've ever touched.
He scrapes a claw along it, tries to inflict some damage upon it.
You do not manage to leave as much as a tiny scratch.
He frowns. Very well. I suggest he looks around and then closes his eyes for a bit, shakes his head. I suppose we have to walk then.
Hank looks, anticipating the breaking of the glass.
It seems quite sturdy.
It certainly does. The only sounds your claws kind of tipping on the glass. Or on the glass-like structure anyways. And let's stop here for a moment as I reveal more and describe.
Ah!
I was muted when I started talking. Let's try that again. What you see before you is you, basically, in a sense. On the left is Telrexus, sitting as majestically as always, with one little addition. A diamond-studded silk collar around his neck, attached to it a lead held by a vague, wispy shape of a hand. The collar is a flimsy thing, easily broken, but this Telrexus does not seem interested in breaking it. The other hand of Telrexus' unseen holder appears as well, gently stroking his neck, sending waves of pleasure down the spines of both Telrexuses. Avonix, on the right of Telrexus, is thin, emaciated, nervous eyes darting around, the eyes of one who couldn't fend for himself, of one who was too weak to survive and too prideful to seek help. Survival has not been as much of a problem for Einavox, but at a cost. Her scales are cracked and dirty, and the look in her eyes suggests feral instincts and little else. Rachayax is little more than a wispy shape with empty eyes, little more than a small part of something looming and unseen. No life in the eyes. What you see before you, what bars your way, are the yous that could have been, that could still be. They mirror your looks, your movements, although they are sitting still.
To Raxos. A snarl comes from his throat deep down, and he lunges forward and says, "Such insult! Such audacity! Who are you? Show yourself!
Your words seem to echo in this empty space, but there's no answer.
Does the chained one say the same?
The, views you see before you seem to be moving alive, at least. They seem to recognize you, to see you, but they do not answer either.
Oh, so they just mirror us. They don't say what we say.
No, they do not.
Okay. Well, someone struck a nerve.
Tyraxos wheels around to Einavox and says, "Struck a nerve might be a bit too mild for this insult." He snarls again, stalking forward. So are they like mounted on a plinth, or like what is?
They are sitting on a raised pedestal, and each one of them is looking at its counterpart. The Tyraxus sitting, what's the word here? Haughtily, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Looking down on, the other Tyraxus, you.
Just walks forward. He tries to bite the mirror image.
Alright, that would be initiative then. Do the others want to interfere here?
No.
Not at the moment. Rekax will be damned ready, because he has bad feelings about this whole thing. It seems very magical, and generally things that are very magical means very much trouble for him.
If Einavax will interfere, is Telvaxis seems in need of help.
That was an accident. Let's go into initiative for Tyraxus and Tyraxus then. And you do get to act first.
Alright. Well, 5-foot step and full attack.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I think Jonas is using his old picture.
Yes, he is.
It did.
Well, he's changed his picture just before the session.
I did.
Those are one of the claws and one of the wings certainly connects. The other attacks aren't having as much success as you might hope that they do, because it does seem like your exact opposite knows rather well how you fight and knows rather well how to dodge these attacks. There are, however, 2 hits for 15 points of damage. As the other Tyraxus will do the exact same thing.
All misses.
And miss terribly. The other Tyraxus snarling, occasionally glancing upwards to where the unseen end of the lead goes. Perhaps looking for support, but not getting any. The other 3 youths look distinctly uninterested in this particular combat, each of them focusing on their counterpart.
Tyraxos hisses again and says, "How dare you succumb to that creature? How dare you!" And he attacks again.
That is a hit for 10 points of damage.
"You are to be a lord, a ruler, not a pet." He keeps hissing this as he lunges at them with claws and wings and basically everything he can muster.
The other Tyraxus snarling silently really, no noise coming out. He will try to attack you as well.
Those are
Those
3
are-
hits.
Yep.
For 9,
24 points of damage.
Ow.
Actually, the last hit does not connect.
Oh. The 23.
The 23 does not connect.
Then it's 20.
You too seem to get the moment of inspiration knowing exactly where you would strike, allowing you to more or less easily dodge out of that.
Sure.
Those are 2 hits for 16 points.
He snarls again. Subservient! Such... He just grinds his teeth. As, he seems to be a bit cut up at this point, but yes, fury. Like you have never seen in Chilraxos during the short time you've known him.
The other Tyraxos seems to snarl words as well, probably insults or whatever you would really say in this situation, although no sound is coming out.
Ow.
The 23 does not connect.
Okay. 21, 27. Oop, I might go down here.
Oh god, really?
He's hitting way more than I am.
I mean, they're the same, right?
Well, with that, Einavox will jump
Except
in.
I suppose one has mage armor.
Yes, I do have mage armor.
With
I have a slight advantage, but yes, when he rolls in the 20s like that, I can't do much.
Anavox wants to jump in as well?
yeah, when you see Tyraxus getting hurt that much.
Alright,
No, Tyraxus will hold out like a snarler. No, this is my fight. I must.
She will respect your wishes.
Okay.
And they will try again. Come on. Aha, it's a crit at least.
That certainly connects, but doesn't confirm for 5 points of damage.
I'm rolling like 8s and 2s. This is awful.
So Tyraxus is going to be defeated by himself as a servant. It seems.
And the other Tyraxus will, do what Tyraxus would do and attack.
Yep, that's me down. Let's see.
The 23 does not connect.
Okay.
It is 8 points of damage. You're still up.
Well, it's basically now or never.
Unless you want to breathe in his face.
Won't do that much damage. He's resistant.
Well, 5.
Yeah, and the breath does average of 9.
Okay.
So if I opened with it, it would have been better because then I would have the breath charged bite. But yeah, at this point, it's come on. There we go.
That is enough. The other Tyraxus simply disappears as you slice into it.
Tyraxus sort of hammers down on the pedestal. I don't know if it can break, but if it could, it probably would. As he slashes and tears and roars in triumph and fury at the destroyed mirror image, and then it's just he hisses and takes a few steps back, breathing heavily, and yes, just it crackles around him with barely contained rage, as he will fumble around in his pack and start healing himself.
Mechanics will look to the ghostly mechanics, sort of very curious and a little saddened at seeing this. It's not really a nice sight to see your own form as it would be if it was, sort of deathless. But he will sort of move a little closer and sort of ask, "Can you hear me up there?"
There's no answer. There's a flicker of recognition in the dead eyes, but no answer.
What are you? Tell me, please. Can you say something? Can you move? Can you think?
The eyes quickly turn from recognition to just staring in the distance.
He reaches out slowly, trying sort of to touch it.
You can try touching it.
He will.
It certainly feels like, well, touching yourself. Although touching this apparition, for lack of a better word, does seem to make it rather upset, angry even.
We'll stop then. Look to it. Curious and a little sort of, well, disturbed, I suppose. She looks at it, trying to spot what differences there are between it and him.
The main difference, the difference that anyone can really see, is that the shape you're looking at resembles you, but it is vague, blurry, and translucent. And looking at it gives you a distinct feeling of there being something much bigger behind it.
Oh. He begins to feel a little sorry for it. He says, you could have been so much more. And look at what you are. What you have become. Just a sliver of something else. Is there anything I could do to help you down from that place?
The eyes seem to flicker for a moment, but there's no answer.
Can you move? Can you nod? Can you do anything that I do not?
There's no answer. Whatever intelligence behind this apparition seemingly blinking in and out of existence.
He'll sort of observe it to see if the intelligence appears, even though he doesn't speak to it.
It does not seem so.
Can Einavox turn into a human in here?
You can try, but you feel yourself unable to do so. The Einavox on the pedestal has turned from simply, well, staring at the actual Einavox and has started snarling at you silently, angry with clearly hostile intent, but making no move so far.
Well, it doesn't seem like they want to talk.
I don't know if they can.
Are they what we could have become?
Perhaps. I don't know your tales, but it seems like you are rather brutish, like a wild animal.
She winks at her kayaks. Yeah, but my scales are much prettier.
She didn't looks at it. I would want to help this one. He has suffered a fate much worse than mine. but I don't know what I could do for one such as him.
What would happen if I tried to move him?
He would attack you, I think.
Einavox takes a step towards him and sees how he reacts.
He does not seem to acknowledge you at all.
Can you touch him briefly?
Einavox will try and touch him briefly.
There's a moment of acknowledgement of your existence, but then it's the same result as when Rajax touched him. A silent but clearly angry expression that may escalate quickly.
Yeah, okay, she will go to her kayaks and stop touching him.
If there is nothing else, it seems like this path moves on. I don't... He looks at himself. I don't know what this means. Is the warning a threat?
I have a feeling it has something to do with that woman who wants to make us slaves. Maybe this is some kind of warning.
Perhaps. Or a favor. Although I'm not sure how it would work. I suggest we look further before taking action.
Einavox looks to the white one and to the kayaks, kind of motioning him to look that perhaps looks like he's gonna attack.
My guy's not going to stop him.
No, she just
It's his weak double. He could probably win.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, sheep.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know what Avonix is going to do.
Okay.
He's going to go ahead and do a charging pounce to knock him off the pedestal.
Alright.
Bull rush.
That would be a bull rush. I'm not sure if you can pounce with a bull rush.
You can
But
do
you
a
can
charge.
certainly-
You can do charging bull rushes though,
You can charge bull rush.
which would mean go to there and then.
Does Arvolnix want to ask for some support from Tyraxus first? Tyraxus has
He's not going to say a word to any of you. He just stalked a full circle around this pedestal.
Alright.
He's too proud.
Yeah, but that was his weak side also. Maybe, you know.
Apparently my weak side is being dead. So,
That is certainly a weak side.
yes.
Would you like a check against my character CMD sheep?
Yes, if you want to do a bull rush, then that's initiative.
I guess I'll move myself back because I haven't done the charge. Yeah, do charge on my turn.
Well, you can certainly get the first action.
Go ahead and roll initiatives. The true Avonix. A bull rushing charge to knock him off, since that's the closest I can get while being in reach.
That's enough. I believe that is enough to push him 5 feet away from you.
It would be enough to push him five feet in the opposite direction.
Yes. Where do you want to put him?
There.
Alright. The emaciated, almost skeleton-like Volnix seems to definitely take offense to that, jumps back up, and tries to bite you.
Did it fall? Do you fall with the bull rush? Or like, are
The
you
pedestal
pushed?
is not high enough to
You're
really.
pushed.
Okay.
If it was tall enough for him to, if it was tall enough, he could have like fallen prone. But
That's a miss. A Volnix.
Avonix is currently almost just giving this almost feral hiss of just hatred, moving forward closer.
The other Volnix mirrors your motions, your expressions perfectly, but with no sound coming out. That bite is a crit for 22 points of damage, and the last wing also hits. Total of 25. The other Volnix will do what you occasionally do and seem to bristle with cold energy as he also attacks you. The claws hit, everything else you manage to anticipate and dodge.
Did you already add the d6 of cold into those?
Yes.
How much were the cold damage?
On the first attack it was 2, on the second attack it was 6.
Okay, so I take 1 point in total of cold.
Yeah, you take 1 point. Oh, this is so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So you take 4 plus 9. 13.
13 damage.
You guys don't think if you click on a Volnix and then click the damage that it would automatically remove the cold?
Oh, it might. It's worth a
No,
try.
no, because it doesn't recognize in the attack frame what
Oh
cold
yeah,
is.
it's registered as sneak attack.
Oh, I see.
There is nothing in that registers what it is.
Would
So,
be practical
Volnix.
to be able to attack that, though.
well,
The first claw hits. The other 2 attacks, the second claw and the second wing, don't hit.
stepping back for a moment, observing him. There was disgust on his face.
Despite being, well, almost close to starvation by the looks of it, this Avolnix is not weaker than you are. Will jump off and attack you. The bite misses. That's a crit that confirms.
Ooh, so that's 15 and plus 11, that's 26. Ow.
Well, the cold damage is really awkward.
Yeah,
So
how much cold?
that's 6 from the first claw, and
six.
22 from the second.
22 from the second claw?
Yeah, it's a crit.
You know it's not 10 plus 15, right? You know the 15
Oh,
is
it's only 15. All right.
The 15's already
Then
multiplied.
it is 12. Sorry,
Yeah, I know the new attack frame is kind of awkward.
it is. It will take a while getting used to. Avonix.
I won't let myself get defeated by one who cannot even fight on their own. Cannot survive what we had to survive. Well, it seemed getting fired up about himself in this case.
The last wing hits, but it is not a crit.
Technically, it should be 1 more point of damage. I just realised I forgot to add
All right, I will apply 7 then.
7 in total. But
The other Volnix will also full attack you. That is a hit. Oh, I still have the sneak attack in there. That's 4 damage on the first claw. And 3 damage on the wing.
4 plus 3.
Yep, 7 points of damage.
Avonix is now barely standing.
Avonix.
One final tear.
The other Volnix disappears as you bite into it, leaving nothing but, well, not even air in this place.
Floor was turning frosty.
Has the feral Einavox kept her horn on the nose short, or is it just overgrown?
It's completely overgrown. The claws are unkempt.
That is
Anything,
gross.
how you would look if you just stopped caring about yourself, really.
Oh, that is so gross. She will point out. That is so gross, guys. You should take care of yourself. I would even help.
The other Einavox answers by snarling at you, showing her rather long and jagged teeth.
Einavox looks really disgusted. Like, ugh, please, just close your mouth. I think she has rabies or something like that.
Rachaex finds himself unable to move further.
Oh.
Aww.
Is he simply pushed back, or?
You walk and think you're making progress, but then you simply find yourself in the same spot again. The same goes for Inovox.
Could one of you two try to move along? It seems I am unable to.
Me too.
Perhaps whatever this thing on the pedestal is keeping me here. I would like to know before I do anything drastic.
Sure. Tyraxus seems to sort of inspect the wounds of our Volnix.
Yeah, that's
Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy.
Does our
That's
Volnix
all.
want some help?
something you should do first.
He's not going to stop you from helping.
Alright.
Pride doesn't go so far, huh?
Kayaks, do you want a mirror?
Which one? What?
And you could stand there.
The other Inovox attacks.
What? I was just kidding.
Okay.
Because, we could make a perfect.
He frowns slightly and says, like, sure if you want to go up there, but
No,
I'd rather know what I'm dealing with first.
I think she has rabies.
Seems like the brutish solution. I gotta hold something back from saying. Seems like the brutish solution might not be the only one.
No, I agree, and
I would like for it not to be.
I really don't want.
Tyraxus
Matt.
looks up to Rakayax and says, "Sometimes, Rakayax, brute strength is needed."
In your case, I understood it's a personal challenge, but for me to fight myself being dead, I don't really want to fight. And I'm sure he wouldn't want that either.
Tyraxus looks at the ghostly Rakayax, frowns and says, "He seems to only be a part of something. What is that great looming shadow above it?"
I assume that would be my ancestral line, in one form or another. Perhaps something I could one day claim, but I don't think I would have the power to do so yet.
He doesn't seem to have claimed much either. Looking at the ghost, my guess is that he failed.
I suppose that is true. Yet perhaps if we could find a way to restore him, we would have even greater possibility of winning. 2 is better than 1 after all.
I think this is some kind of plane we've been pulled into. Whatever we get in here, I don't think we can keep with us on the other side.
Perhaps not, but the wounds seem real enough.
That is true.
They certainly seem real, although any blood that really drips out of the wounds disappears immediately, not even striking the glass-like surface.
Could one of you try to step onto the bridge? I seem to not be able to make any progress there. It would be nice to know if you can move on.
Very well.
The bridge certainly seems to be a bridge to Tyrexus.
He nods. I have no trouble proceeding.
Could you look a little ahead, perhaps?
He looks around. Is that wise?
I'm not sure, but I don't really know how to deal with this.
He looks at the pedestal. Seems clear enough to me. Destroy those hideous grotesqueries.
I know X looks to Tyraxus and gives him a look that says, really? She says, have you seen what my bite does to people?
Nods.
I don't feel like puking.
And I didn't feel like being on display like some sort of prized possession.
Well, that was not you. That
That's
is
true. I would have thought it would annoy you more to see yourself in such a state.
Tyraxus
Me?
nods
It
as
is
well.
making a mockery of you, after all.
me or Tyraxus.
Well, you.
Is that not all that you wish to avoid, Einavox? Points at the feral creature. All
It is what
inhibition.
somebody promises to make of you, I suppose.
The future is not written. I do not look like that. I am not feral. I am not unkempt.
Another challenge of your discipline, I suppose, then. Perhaps this is more test. Someone wishes to see how we would react in this situation, to better anticipate our actions in the future.
The future is not written. I can still, if someone wants to put me in that position, I can still fight it. No one can force me to do that.
Ervolnix, come here. Let us scout a bit ahead, while these two ponder their options.
Still low growl to himself, but he can keep following along. He's put Hornix in a very bad mood.
In fact, I'm actually more surprised that you two can't see the difference between you and those sitting there.
The difference is clear enough, but so is the insult, and I do not suffer insults.
Insults are words. Words cannot hurt.
Wrong. Words can kill. Words can topple nations. It has happened in the past many times.
Well said, Tyraxus.
She looks at Rachayax like, really?
He smiles slightly and winks to her.
She just brushes him.
Disarmingly.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. She just nods.
And perhaps this battle can be won with words. I am sure both he and I would very much appreciate that. If he is indeed as much me as it seems.
I know it looks to the feral one as this. I don't think she wants to talk.
Doesn't look like the type, no.
Does Einovox have her stuff with her?
Yes.
Does she have a book? The Four Shades of Dragon?
If you think you would have had that on you when you went to rest, then yes.
It's in my character sheet.
Then you have it.
She pushes the book over to Einovox.
Einavox stops snarling at you and snarls at the book, followed by a spout of acid into the book's direction.
Oh, she destroys the book.
I don't. To be honest, I think it's fine when we come back, unless it's like Friday the 13th.
Ah!
Oops, that wasn't
Help!
supposed to be like that. I mean,
That's
Well,
how
then.
powerful my acid is, guys.
It melts the crazy dimension of dream.
Einovox looks at the books and
that's.
Are you
Let me try that
serious?
again.
Will you stop destroying the world?
Just stop for a moment, but I want reflex saves.
whoa! It's just a book, girl.
Einavox fails. You take 10 points of acid damage. Avolnix takes 5.
I take 5. 2.
Drexos, who was going down the bridge, now stops dead in his tracks and swings around, like ready to fight, and then looks and says, looks at the acid dripping Einovox, and everyone looks. It seems to me that the intention is quite clear.
No, I'm happy I was done with that book.
The book is entirely disintegrated. There are no scraps left, and the other Einovox does look rather satisfied.
Ah, that is.
She doesn't seem to like books at all.
Well, that's stupid.
Perhaps in another place, she is looking at you at that pedestal, feeling disgusted with you.
Oh, that's true.
If so, then it would mean that this one in some other place is looking at me, seeing me as something that denied being part of something greater. Does that sound about right? He asks the ghost Tyraxus. Or do you regret your actions and regret being where you are?
But since she is so feral, maybe she wouldn't even understand.
It seems likely. But I would, I think. Perhaps. Looks at it.
Einovox looks to Tyraxus and says, I don't know if that book is okay when we come back, but I hope it wasn't a book you intended to read.
Tyraxos looks at it, seems to frown. I was reading about human relationships.
This one was about dragons.
He nods. I see. No, then it is not time to mate yet.
Warn me next time you wake up next to me. Gives you a little...
I sleep next to you all the nights, Einavox.
No, when we woke up here, we were basically right next to each other.
He frowns. I see. I don't recall that.
Oh yeah, 4 Shades of Dragons. I forgot.
Rakaix narrows his eyes.
I don't know. Should I
Do
just?
you feel happy or sad with your position? Do you wish to be like me? Or have you succumbed to what you are? Could you return to this?
The apparition's expression is hard to read, but happiness or satisfaction or enjoyment or anything positive is not it.
Is 4 Shades of Dragon gone?
It is completely disintegrated. There's
Do you want me
not
to
even a scrap
remove?
left.
Do you want me to remove it from my character sheet?
You can do that.
Am I gonna add it again later?
I don't know, are you?
I don't know if it's there.
Who knows?
So should I leave it or
That's up to you.
I can put up a 10, guys, if you want.
Carry that around with you when you sleep?
It's in my backpack.
Alright.
You never know when you need a tent. You know, I can't sleep under bugs and the sun and
Versus, why do you attack? Why do you lash out? Could we not find some common ground?
The apparition looks at you with empty eyes, staring through you. Sitting up ever so slightly, a stance that you would immediately recognize as something that may or may not lead to hostile actions.
It is not alive, Rakayax, my friend.
Slightly.
Oh.
Volnix and Talaxas. Could you two deal with it then? Would that be possible?
Tyraxos looks at it. Perhaps, if you do not think that would invalidate whatever test this might be.
Oh,
Says, on the contrary, I think the only reason I am not that is because I have been able to rely on others.
Einavox will look to
We'll need to do so again at some point.
Volnix. I didn't know she would ask it a book. It actually came quite as a surprise. I'm sorry, Volnix. Didn't mean to acid you.
If
Oh,
two
I'm just giving a very, very cold look at both you and the feral version.
What? What did I do? Except kind of put you in an acid position. Not intended. So who are we gonna take out first? They're probably both gonna attack if we are close.
I don't know, but I'm curious to see what happens if one of you attacks it. If it attacks me as well.
Tyraxos
Well, you know, I know.
grins.
I shouldn't really be much of a threat if you're nearby.
Einavox looks to attacks. I can try and attack him if you want.
Wait until everyone's ready. There's no reason to rush this.
Alright.
The apparition of Retax does stir as you stay near it.
Just step a little away. If possible. Tilrax says you would not care to help, would you?
Tyraxos looks at it. I am in a position to do so, am I not?
Dalton says, I suppose so. Well then, I suppose I will be over here. Go ahead then. Dalton looks at it and says, you were never to be. And if you can understand me, you must understand why has to be done. It seems that You are a lesson that I never learned.
I will admit it is a little embarrassing. The feral one, not kayaks.
Nudge the other and says, "Go ahead."
Are you guys coming?
I'm ready to go. I
The
can
first
support
one.
you from here.
All right.
You initiate combat.
Mm-hmm.
Full attack. Why not?
Let's see what happens when I do it. If it's out of memory. No! Yay! What a happy day.
You do get the first turn. Let's see.
Not really good.
That is a hit for 6 points of damage and a
Nauseous.
fortitude save. By the ghostly Rachax.
Gross. God.
He
Which
fails.
Fails.
He's nauseated. Does she want to flank?
No, she does not.
Ah, too bad.
Where is nauseated? Help. That is.
I don't know.
The ghostly Rachax seems to be completely unaware of the fact that it's going to be unable to attack, and goes straight for the other Rachax, trying to attack feebly but unable to do
do
so.
I get an attack?
Yes. Yes, you do. That is another hit.
Hmm.
Tyraxus.
Well, I mean, seems to be under control, doesn't it? We'll walk down here.
I kind of like the idea of just the ball rushing off the edge.
I don't think the edge is a thing we can bull rush things off.
That's a attack of opportunity by Inovox.
Oh, she's threatening?
Apparently
Yes.
she attacks you.
Oh. If that was a thing, I would have gone up there.
Oh, she fumbled.
Uh, oh, that was a thing. Go for the bite. That was the clicked one.
The bite is a miss.
Okay.
Rachax.
It's a shame, isn't it? But it is how it has to be, I suppose. Oh. Bite and claw the fake.
That's a fumble. Avonix.
What does the feral Inovox seem to be doing?
The feral Inovox seems rather intent on going after Inovox.
I see. In which case...
That's it. Feral Inovox, take a step forward and attack Inovox. The bite is a fumble. The claws hit. The first wing hits, the second wing does not connect. You take 12 points of damage.
Did she use her blood?
You're immune to your own blood poison anyway.
Yes.
Well, you know, maybe she was too feral to know.
She has done so instinctively. But the poison,
Doesn't do
you
anything.
first of all know it quite well, and it does not seem to bother you at all.
12 damage?
Yes.
Ow.
Winovox.
Looks really annoyed at that. 5-foot steps, nods to Avolnix.
He seems more than happy to go kill your counterpart.
Okay.
And she would really, tells the group and says she would really appreciate, I would really appreciate that you all just forget the fact that a big horn can grow on my nose.
That is very calm and collected to tell in the middle of battle, but yes.
Well, she's really up about her appearance, and she's really fought
Priorities,
to
man,
look.
priorities.
Yeah, she's really fought to look this good, and hide the fact that a big horn grows on her nose.
She's very self-conscious about the horn.
The first claw hits. The other claw and the second wing do not.
Okay. Well, priorities, and image is everything.
The ghostly attacks here will try to continue to feebly attack attacks, but not doing anything in its current state. Terexus.
Moves here, and lightning breath down the line.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, you can probably get a line that doesn't hit the actual Inavox here.
Yes.
See, that is a reflex save. They both make it.
Alright. That's 5 lightning damage.
No tags.
Oh. Well, we'll just continue. Not that he's doing a whole lot, but
I
the other
think...
one isn't either. So.
No, nothing.
That's it. 5 points of damage. Those are misses. Avolnix. Those are 2 hits, but the Inavox does seem to be still hanging in there. And will full attack
Barely.
Inavox. That's the claws hit for 17 points of damage.
How much?
17.
17.
Inavox.
I'll just full attack.
None of those are hits.
Rolled bad.
Or attacks? Actually, that's the other one. Never mind. The ghostly attacks will, continue trying to hurt attacks in every way that it has available, which is none. Terexus.
Alright. Full attack. If the bite hits, which I think it does,
The bite does hit, and
that is an additional 10 lightning damage.
it is enough. The attacks disappears.
I don't think I even have that much health. Well, I mean, I'll go here and prepare to intercept if Inavox was to be knocked out. Basically, delay until prepare to heal Inavox if she gets knocked out.
Okay. Avolnix? The Inovox disappears. The altar, or the pedestal, also disappears, leaving you with nothing apart from a platform of this glass-like substance.
Yes. Well, thank you, I suppose. It was very nice of you to help me.
Traxos gives him a sideward glance. Of course. And
We all have our specialties, after all.
indeed. Who's here? Can I still move through?
You can still move through.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Inovax looks puzzled at our Volnix.
Turn his head. Look at you.
The path is very long, isn't it?
Yes. I see nothing but the collars.
It's nauseating.
I'm glad we're working on it, not something else that's wall-shaped collar. I heard terrible things that come from such things.
I just want to go home.
You don't look too great either right now.
No, she was really gross. And now the secret is out that I can get quite a big nose.
Heal. I know extra 7.
Thanks.
Traxos looks back. You should consider diving around in sand. It... Well,
Also this one.
She gives a hidden smile at Tyraxis, and I already do use Tiamat.
5 more.
She basically, poses like, how do you think I get my scales to look this good?
he nods wisely. Of course, yes. It was obvious all along, I see.
He smiles.
Sand is superior for everything, of course.
It makes you shiny.
And sparkly.
Yes.
I don't see it. I don't see anything.
Well, the end.
I guess.
Well,
Not from
It's a
there.
diving. It's a diving board.
I guess we just live here.
There is only the thick soup, or whatever this is. He looks at the brownish fog in front of him.
But as you step there, the fog does lift. And what you see before you is quite the display indeed.
Oh.
No, one of them is broken.
Can you? I have to abuse you for a moment.
What?
All right.